03.
If you want to add a unique and stunning feature to your home, decorative art glass can be used in a variety of ways to really increase its wow factor. Think of adding a wonderful work of stained glass art to some of your exterior windows, foyer, or front door entry. We can make sure the measurements fit spot on, and you don't even have to replace the glass. You can just add the art glass over the top. It will add some real ambiance that changes as the sun moves throughout the day. And a paint of protection too, which never hurts. Our decorative glass artists are delightful to work with, and they just might give you some ideas that you love, but never even thought of. There's so much of the same out there. Adding a customized work of stained glass art to one or more of your home's windows can really set it apart. This is Stacy Sinks with Les's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Les's Glass. Les's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lesglassservice.com.
Hi, this is Michelle Voskel, CPA and team member at the Neal Group. If 2025 didn't go exactly as planned, you're not alone. You made it through, and that's what counts. Now it's time for taxes, and for a lot of people, that's when the stress kicks in, especially if things got messy along the way. The good news? A rough year doesn't mean a ruined future. We helped Nate fix a tax mess with the IRS created by one of those national firms and saved him $103,000 in penalties, plus another $150,000 in taxes, because we know the tax law. Imagine walking into tax season with a plan, clarity, and someone in your corner who knows the tax law and knows how to use it. You earned it. We help you keep it. Call us now at 414-325-2040 to arrange a meeting to see how we can help you. Don't wait. Call now. That's 414-325-2040 or visit nealgroup.net.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks have lost 2 straight and now will face the Dallas Mavericks in Milwaukee tonight at 6. You can listen to the game right here on 620 WTMJ. In college basketball, Marquette lost to Butler Friday 87-76, and the Badgers take on the USC Trojans today at 3. Badgers Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited Siding and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. A few incidents on the road this morning as it is a bit snowy outside. One here in downtown Milwaukee, I-94 West at ramp from St. Paul Avenue. The right lane is blocked due to that crash. A little bit near Clybourne Street and 25th Street, right under that underpass. So just be mindful of that if you're going down I-94 westbound. Ramp from I-41, 894 east to I-94 south. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. Be mindful of that near the Greendale-Greenfield area. And in towards South Milwaukee area, I-94 south at ramp from College Avenue, the center lane is blocked due to a crash, so just be mindful of that. Be mindful of all the roads across the region this morning as it is very slippery and slick outside. Otherwise, no major issues, no major delays across the rest of the system.
Traffic is sponsored by Design Exchange in Heartland and Pewaukee. Design Exchange is where discerning buyers with discriminating taste come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Winter weather advisory until 3 p.m. for Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties with cold weather advisory that goes into effect tonight at midnight until noon on Monday for all of southeast Wisconsin. Today, mostly cloudy with lake effect snow showers, slowly tapering off through the afternoon. 2 to up to 4 inches possible for eastern Milwaukee, eastern Racine, and eastern Kenosha counties with a high of 15. And tonight, blustery and colder again with a low of 2 below, with wind chills getting lower to 10 to 25 below. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 9 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:08.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins.
And it is a cold, snowy morning in Wisconsin. And joining us in just a couple minutes, we've got Michael Fish here. He is going to be giving us an update how long this snow is going to last. And you know what? There are probably some of you out there this morning that are not even having that snow, believe it or not, because it's that lake effect. We'll tell you about that in just a moment. Just looking ahead, though, at what we're doing with the show this morning, and it's such an important story, and that, of course, is the shooting yesterday in Minneapolis of the protester by ICE. Not going to judge on how you should feel about that one way or the other, but we're going to be talking with an attorney who lives in Minneapolis. He practices there, about the situation from his perspective. That's going to be new at 9 this morning, and we will be getting to that in the next hour. Also, just want to remind you about this at 11 o'clock this morning. If you saw 2020 the other night, you saw the story of 19-year-old Jessie Blodgett, who was killed in her own home, in her bed, back in 2013 in Hartford. And today on Conversations, we talk with her dad, Dr. Buck Blodgett, about what happened that day and also what's happened since. And that's what I think you really want to focus on. It's an extremely moving conversation, and that's going to be at 11 o'clock this morning. And joining us right now is TMJ4 meteorologist Michael Fish. And Fish, tell us about what's going on, because I know we've got really heavy snow for some of the areas, and in other areas there's nothing. Why?
Isn't that weird? The good old lake effect. Good old lake effect.
Yes.
That's what we're dealing with right now. And on our side of the lake, when you have it's called a fetch. You're like, what? That's like our technical term. This kind of fetch coming down the lake. On our
By
side,
the way, that sounds like something from Mean Girls, doesn't it? Make fetch happen. I don't know. Go ahead.
Something that you play with your pets with. Go get the ball.
Okay, so tell us about the fetch.
Okay, so the fetch on our side of the lake in this situation gives us this one little narrow band of snow. And first of all, it's tricky to predict because it's so narrow. And you have to watch where it wiggles and moves. And right now, if you're listening to us in Milwaukee County, you're like, oh yeah, it's really coming down right now. But then all of a sudden you're in Racine and you're like, what are you talking about? There's nothing going on here. We had like a dusting. Racine, you're not done. This batch of snow is going to pivot its way down the Lake Michigan shoreline. I already have over 2 inches of snow here in Shorewood at TMJ.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. And if you haven't gone out to clean this up, by the way, once it's all said and done, it ends from north to south. So Milwaukee, I think we've got another couple hours of this. You're like, what? Yeah, I've got Milwaukee, like the eastern half of the county. I have you with 2 to 4 inches. And we're already seeing, I have an observer checked in from, I believe, West Dallas. They said they had 2 inches already. But it's fluff. Lake effect is fluffy, light snow, especially when it's this cold out. So, like when you go to clean this up, it's like nothing. Eastern Racine and Eastern Kenosha counties, this is going to move your way over the next few hours and then pick up. Also, 2 to 4 inches, depending on how long this sticks around in one spot. We only go up to 15 today. Inland, you're like, what are you even talking about? Well, you should see my tower cam in the radar right now. Looking at the Marquette interchange, it's moderately snowing. I'm not looking forward to my drive home, but I know by the time I drive home a little bit west, I'm going to have barely anything. So it's going to be a very interesting. This is lake effect. This is how it works on our side of the lake. You move a couple of miles and it makes all the difference. Sheboygan is seeing like nothing. There are a few flakes, just a few flurries or very light snow in Port Washington right now. That will end over the next few hours. Milwaukee, we have several hours to go. Picks up in Racine and Kenosha over the next several hours and goes into the afternoon. Winter weather advisory, Milwaukee, Racine, Kenosha until 3 this afternoon because, I mean, if you're in Milwaukee, you know what I'm talking about. Then, once that's done,
everybody's going to get cold weather, though.
Even
if you didn't get the snow. Okay, so we all have something in common.
We all have something in common. Cold weather advisory for midnight tonight into noon tomorrow because the wind chills overnight going into tomorrow morning, 20 to 25 below again.
Oh,
Here
my
we go.
gosh.
And tomorrow's high. I know. This is enough. Tomorrow's high temperature only 10. And then after that, we've got 17 on Tuesday. There might be a couple snow showers Monday night. 17 Tuesday, 16 Wednesday, 17 Thursday, 18 Friday with a chance of a few snow showers. Hey, 20, a balmy 20 by next Saturday.
It's a virtual heat wave.
Yeah, next Sunday, 24. Get out the Bermuda shorts.
And some of those high school kids will. So, hey, listen, Fish, thanks for letting us know. And again, so how much longer will people along that lakeshore have that snow? A couple more hours, you think?
So I think Milwaukee is going to be several more hours of this. You're probably getting done by late morning, I'm thinking. Then it starts to, and then Port Washington, you should be done within the next couple of hours. Racine, Kenosha, you're going to see this pivot down your way. Then it's going to start to pick up in intensity there. You're going to go pick it up like late this morning, taper off through like mid-afternoon. And again, if you're in those areas, it's like 2 to 4 inches, depending on how long it sticks around.
And if you're in Pewaukee, don't worry about it. It's just going to be cold.
Yeah, enjoy the ice fishing.
Terrific. Hey, Michael Fish, it's always great to have you here. Have a safe drive home.
All right. Thanks a lot. See you, Libby.
All right. And as we were just telling you a few minutes ago, it is a busy show. This morning, new at 9, we're talking with a Minneapolis attorney about the shooting by ICE officers yesterday that led to a protester's death. We've got Tim Gibbons ahead. He's from the Milwaukee Business Journal, and he has some news about which grocery store in Wisconsin is one of the very top 3 in the entire country. We're also going to tell you about a free expo that focuses on your family members with disabilities. Our consumer expert, Michelle Reinen, says not all class action lawsuit postcards are legitimate. She'll tell you what to watch for. And our buddy Matt Miller is going to be here with us, and he is going to break down all those Oscar nominations. We have Nazir in the newsroom. Isaac's pushing buttons. It is a busy morning ahead. And coming up in just a couple minutes, I mentioned the 2020 from the other night, if you saw it, about the 19-year-old from Hartford, Jesse Blodgett, who was murdered back in 2013. We've got a preview of our conversation with her dad, Dr. Buck Blodgett, right after this on WTMJ. It's 8:16.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-885-3333. That's 800-885-3333.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
You may have seen it Friday night on ABC. 2020 aired the story of 19-year-old Jessica Blodgett. She was murdered in her Hartford home on July 15th of 2013. I talked with Jesse's dad, Dr. Buck Blodgett, about how he learned his daughter's fate.
What's etched in my brain permanently is the phone call that every parent fears. She said, honey, it's Jesse. And I said, what? And she tried to explain a little bit, but she was sobbing a lot. And she explained that she did CPR and she called 911 and they're here now taking over for me. And the first thing she did was call me. And I said, is she responding? And Joy just sobbed and didn't say anything. And then I thought I heard her say no. And I said, honey, is she, and I didn't want to say the word dead. So I said, is she gone?
Many of us recall that horrific murder of teenage Jessie Blodgett in the bedroom of her Hartford home over a dozen years ago. But no one has a more vivid memory than her dad, Dr. Buck Blodgett. And Buck joins me this morning at 11 on WTMJ Conversations with details you won't hear anywhere else. It's such a moving interview, and Buck is an amazing man, and you'll learn also how amazing Jessie was too. It's 8:19. We have 9 degrees. It feels like it's about 7 degrees below zero. Coming up next, we're joined by Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. Which grocery store in the Milwaukee area is number 3 in the country? We'll tell you right after this. It's coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. My training helps me at work when I lead by example. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my community and those I care about safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time close to home by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard, aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
If you have ever done it, you know a move late in life can be absolutely overwhelming. Well, Bruce's team of senior real estate specialists have helped more than 3,000 families make that move a stress-free transition. They have over 47 years of experience, and they've also won the 2025 BBB Ethics Award. They provide support downsizing, selling your home, and also, they have contacts with reliable contractors, so you get top dollar for every cent of your hard-earned money. You can attend their free event, Moving in the Right Direction, on March 3rd. It's going to be at the Berner Botanical Gardens, and they're going to have speakers talking about resources to downsize. They're going to tell you about some of the senior communities in the area and what they have to offer. And they also have a number of other vendors, all to help you make that most important decision of your life, and that's downsizing in your home. And they have news about the real estate market. Is it a good time for you to sell? Well, you want to find out. And here's what you do. You have to RSVP by February 23rd at 262-242-6166. I'm going to repeat that number. If you want to come on March 3rd to the Moving in the Right Direction seminar, you just call 262-242-6177 or go to brucesteam.com and you can RSVP there as well.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting WTMJ.com/contests.
That's WTMJ.com/contests.
Get big-time savings for the whole family at Fleet Farm's first truckload super sale of the year. 50-pound bags of Sprout Poultry Crumble and Pellet Feed are $11.99. Save 20% on clear Sterlite storage totes. 12 packs of Scott Comfort Plus toilet paper are just $3.49. And save 25% on Skechers footwear for the family. Load up at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, January 22nd through the 25th. And check out all the truckload deals at fleetfarm.com.
It's time to check in with Tim Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal, and there was big news on Friday about an executive who's been around a long time stepping down from WEC Energy. Tell us about it, Tim.
Yeah, so it's Gale Clapper. He's retiring as the chairman of the board of WEC Energy Group, where he's been there 22 years, really helping lead that organization through a period of growth, made big acquisitions during his time, really having a big impact on that organization and on the Milwaukee business community across the board.
Do they have any plans on who's going to step up in his place?
They do. So there's a little bit of a long tail here. So Gale, as I said, was with the company for more than 22 years. He retired as CEO in 2016, and then meeting coming up, obviously Scott would have to be reelected as a director, but those elections are usually pretty perfunctory, so there's no particular concern that it won't happen. So he will be likely the one who continues to lead WEC Energy Group and We Energy, as the consumers know it, into the future.
Let's move on to another story that's getting a lot of buzz in the community, and that's Rockwell Automation donating a lot of money to UWM. What's behind that strategy?
So they have been involved with the university and specifically its Connected Systems Institute for a while. They were a founding partner of that institute, which is focused on basically high-tech manufacturing. It does stuff with AI, it does stuff with hardware. So a lot of your listeners know this, but as we say manufacturing now is really a tech business. There's so much high-tech stuff, and UWM has really leaned into this with their Connected Systems Institute, and Rockwell has been a big supporter of that institute. Fun fact, UWM is the largest source of Rockwell's workers in the U.S., so they have a strategic sort of approach that they want to make sure these graduates come out as well prepared as they can be because they're going to hire them.
Are there a lot of major corporations that donate to universities in the hope that that will help them to attract the top talent graduating?
Yeah, it's become more of a thing. It's partially the idea, there's a branding side of it, obviously, that if you see Rockwell or Johnson Controls or the Associated Bank or any of these names on the walls of your classroom, it does something for having you think about where you want to work after school. But even more importantly is the internships and the other ways that companies stay involved with these educational institutions. But you look across the area, it really is a strength very much in manufacturing, but also in financial services, where you have a range of companies who are involved with everything from MSOE and UWM, obviously, but the technical colleges have a really good connection with some of the healthcare providers, say, in training the nurses of the future. Companies like Baird get involved on the financial services side. You have real estate companies who are very involved with Marquette and the Real Estate Institute there. So it's a way that corporate America or corporate Milwaukee basically looks around and says, look, we're going to hire these people. Also, we care about the strength of the area, and having a good, well-educated workforce is a plus both for attracting companies and just growing as an economy.
We're talking with Timothy Gibbons. He's the editor-in-chief of the Milwaukee Business Journal. Okay, speaking of that, Microsoft is putting more money into Pleasant Prairie. Does that mean they might actually donate some money to some of these universities as well?
So Microsoft actually is partnering with the UWM Institute, ironically enough, specifically on AI stuff. And you know where all that AI stuff actually happens. It's in data centers. I'm not sure if we're allowed to have a week go by without talking about data centers.
So why are they putting more money into Pleasant Prairie?
So the plan now is basically this campus that has been underway and is actually going to have its first buildings open up this year. They are supersizing what they were doing there. So, their initial plan had been like $3 billion, and then it grew to $7 billion. And now with all in everything they have planned on 2,000 acres there, we're talking like $20 billion invested in that site. Now, I should say, this expansion of the plans have received preliminary approval for another $13 billion in additions to the campus, but it ain't going to happen like tomorrow. This is very much a long-range planning sort of thing. Even once it goes through the village board, which is supposed to vote on next week, we're not talking about seeing any of this work actually begin for years to come. But it's a way of the company getting its ducks in a row. Assuming this entire data center boom keeps on going, assuming AI keeps on being the thing everybody says it's going to be, they want to be prepared for the future.
And speaking of being prepared for the future, this week you talked with the new president of the Bucks about how they're going to eventually have to move forward without Giannis.
Yes, you say that and it felt like a ripple in the forest sort of thing of, don't put that out in the universe. But obviously everybody knows, at some point he will be retiring, and hopefully will be retiring from the Bucks. So the organization got a new president, replacing Peter Fagan, who had been with the organization for about a dozen years, and starting out today talking about somebody who was an impactful leader. And Peter very much was that for the Bucks. He came in and took a team that was actually pulled up the stats, was literally bottom of the league in attendance when he started, and now you can see the growth curve over his time. So new ownership has come in recent years. That's kind of led to this change in leadership, and they now have Josh Blessing, who is a native of the area, grew up with the Bucks, and is now going to be leading the team.
That's one we certainly have our eye on, and hopefully it's a good future going forward. All right, speaking of things that a lot of people are talking about, the semifinalists for the James Beard Award have been announced, and there were quite a few in Wisconsin. Any surprises?
Yeah, I was slightly surprised by one thing, which was, we all know there's some really good chefs in Milwaukee, and we kind of know the usual suspects. And if you look at what the James Beard named as semifinalists this year, it's not necessarily the usual suspects. They're known, but they're not as well known as some of the other people, including, we couldn't tell for sure, but it looks like this might be the first time that Milwaukee has somebody as a semifinalist for the emerging chef category. Vanessa Rose of Mother's, which is a Bayview restaurant, she was named a semifinalist for emerging chef, which is great for her, and that restaurant is very well regarded, but it also says good things about the future of the restaurant scene here, that it's not just we have a couple big names and they're the ones dominating the industry. We also have these new players who are coming up, creating the future of what the restaurant scene will look like.
Well, not everybody can afford to go out to eat a lot, Tim. So instead, they're spending a lot of time in the grocery store. And this week at the Milwaukee Business Journal, you told us where Wisconsinites are shopping.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about this is Woodman's was named as one of the top grocery stores in the country by this national industry survey that comes out every year. That it's a big deal. And Woodman's is on the list for the first time. It took over the number 3 spot on that list from, of all companies, Costco. And interestingly, as they did the research on these companies, it's very well regarded from a consumer standpoint, but it's incredibly well regarded from an industry standpoint as well. The line that jumped out to me in the report was the quality-price equation is stronger at Woodman's than it is at Costco, and Costco is known for being a value-conscious place to shop. So really good plaudits for a Wisconsin-based company.
Well, if I don't see you at one of the local restaurants, Tim, I'm sure I'll see you at the grocery store. Tim Gibbons from the Milwaukee Business Journal. It's great to have you here today. Stay warm, huh?
Well, I'm trying to, so you as well.
Since 1957, we've been making great pizzas. The recipe's the same, the dough's made daily like it's always been. The fresh veggies are cut daily, and the quality control remains as high as it's ever been. We gotta keep it high, because we know when you can count on consistency, that it keeps you coming back. So how about Marty's Pizza tonight?
Remember Marty's Pizza. Marty's Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
Staying active, essential for overall health. Proper medical support, essential for staying active. WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Whether it's keeping a weekend warrior like me on the tennis court or keeping young athletes in the game, you want the best in sports medicine, that's OAW. Surgeons, nurses, and physical therapists help you recover from injury, avoid injury in the future, and enhance performance. Get care 7 days a week. Walk right in at an Ortho ASAP clinic or book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
And at 8:33, we've got Nizer Spencer in the WTMJ Breaking News Center with a big story about a huge drug bust in Racine. Nizer, what happened?
Thanks, Libby. One person is in custody and one on the run after a major drug bust in Racine. Racine police began investigating 31-year-old Jarvis Walker and 54-year-old Patsy Clemmer after a Metro Drug Unit agent purchased cocaine from their residence. The Racine Sheriff's SWAT team and the Metro Drug Unit executed a search warrant Wednesday of the home and found hundreds of grams of crack cocaine and marijuana. Walker was arrested shortly after the search. Clemmer has not yet been arrested, and anyone with information should call the Racine County Communications Center. Multiple ships traveling the Great Lakes had to be cut out of ice this week after an extreme cold event. Coast Guard cutters Mackinac and Nia Bay conducted ice-breaking operations to free vessels transiting the Great Lakes on Wednesday. Among the ships freed are the Wilfred Sykes, a 678-foot motor vessel on Lake Huron, and the American Spirit, a 1,004-foot ship stuck on Lake Erie. Coast Guardsmen are continuing to free cargo ships as negative temperatures continue. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic here in downtown Milwaukee near 25th Street and Clybourne. I-94 west at ramp from St. Paul Avenue. The right lane is blocked due to a crash. If you're heading on westbound I-94 from downtown Milwaukee, just be mindful that right lane will be kind of backed up as there's some officers out there trying to get the situation cleared. And another incident on I-43 north, about a mile and a half beyond ramp from Moreland Road in New Berlin. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. Just be mindful of that. Doesn't seem to be causing any issues. Otherwise, across the rest of the system, looking pretty clear. Just keep in mind that the roads are slippery and stay off the roads if they are.
This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Don't just upgrade, transform your home. From bold exteriors to breathtaking baths, Exterior Pros makes it happen. Exterior Pros. Trust the pros.
Here's your WTMJ forecast today. Mostly cloudy with lake effect snow showers slowly tapering off through the afternoon to 2 to up to 4 inches possible for eastern Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties with a high of 15. And tonight, a blustery and cold feeling again with a low of 2 below and wind chills getting to 10 to 25 below with a cold weather advisory going into effect at midnight until noon on Monday for all of southeast Wisconsin. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 9 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 8:36.
Thanks a lot, Nazir. And in just 2 minutes, Eric Bilstead tells us about an everyday hero. Where else? At Disney World.
Rick, tell Sarah about the practical joke you came up with.
Okay, Sarah, this is really great. Are you ready?
Rick, I'm always ready. I walk around in a constant state of readiness.
A man buys a woman a pair of diamond stud earrings from Kessler's.
So far, this doesn't sound like much of a practical joke.
Be patient. He's not done yet.
And then on her birthday, or Valentine's Day, or Mother's Day, or Tuesday, he sneaks them out of her jewelry box and replaces them with a larger pair.
Well, as practical jokes go, this one sounds delightful, but it also sounds expensive.
No, he bought them at Kessler's, remember?
When you buy diamond stud earrings from Kessler's,
and we have them for $180 to $24,000 a pair,
you always get 100% of the price you paid when you trade up for a larger pair.
He just pays the difference?
He just pays the difference.
I love practical jokes. When do I get my first pair?
For the Kessler's nearest you, go to KesslersDiamonds.com.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Ohow.com. Request an appointment. Start your journey to feeling better with the best Orthopedic Hospital of Wisconsin.
And welcome back to Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. Coming up this half hour, we've got Matt Miller joining us with his thoughts about who's nominated for Oscars. But first, here's Eric Bilstead with another everyday hero.
Wisconsin's Morning News identifies an everyday hero as an average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Today, we head to Orlando, Disney World. The Indiana Jones Stunt Spectacular, a live production of Indiana Jones. There are stunts. There's drama. There's even a large boulder rolling toward Indy just like in the movie. Well, in December, there was an issue with that large prop boulder. It's 400 pounds, by the way, and it went rogue, started rolling toward the audience. It was on its way to hitting little kids, grandmas, and grandpas. Well, that's where Disney worker Robert Herrick comes in. He ran up, threw himself in front of the boulder, that knocked him right over. But it kept the crowd from getting hit. You can see the dramatic video. Just text the word hero to the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line, 855-616-1620.
Anyone that sees that and the way it propels me backwards, it's not 10 pounds.
Robert fractured 2 vertebrae in his neck, but he tells WFTV Channel 9 he'd do it again.
My only thought was that thing couldn't reach the audience. It couldn't.
Imagine if this large boulder would have hit a kid. Well, Robert, he's a hero, but you won't hear him admit it.
I have a difficult time with that moniker. Yeah, I do. I think 30 plus years of being on that stage that I love put me in that position.
Thank you, Robert, for being braver than Indiana Jones and for being an everyday hero. Everyday Hero, sponsored by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
And it's 8:40 on WTMJ. The temperature is 8 degrees, but it feels like 10 below. If you're close to the lake, you may get as much as another 2 to 4 inches of snow today. Should be clearing up, though, around the noon hour. Coming up in just a couple minutes, we've got Michelle Ryan, our consumer expert. Have you ever got one of those postcards that tell you you're involved in a class action suit? Well, you got to make sure you read the fine print, and we'll tell you why right after this.
Let's ring in the new year by finally checking off something that actually matters. Your old videotapes and photos are fading more every year. VCRs are disappearing, and the clock is ticking to save your family's most important memories. Hi, I'm Adam Maslauger.
And I'm Nick Mako. We started Legacy Box to help you preserve your memories by converting all your videotapes, photos, and film reels into digital files. And this year, it's easier than ever.
Introducing our biggest kit yet, able to hold up to 80 videotapes or film reels or 2,000 photos. It's perfect for big collections. You can even send in old DVDs, memory cards, flip phones, or early generation iPhones.
Legacy Box is truly the easiest New Year's resolution you'll ever keep. Just fill your box and send it in. As the world's largest digitizer of home movies and photos, all work is done in the U.S., and we're trusted by over 1 million families.
Start the new year right by rescuing the moments you haven't watched in years. Go to legacybox.com/radio for an incredible 55% off. That's legacybox.com/radio for 55% off.
Recently, a seller that unfortunately ended up choosing another agent called me. She said she made a mistake, and what she was expressing to me sounded like she kind of was bullied into signing with him. Is it typical? Not always, but it will never happen when you hire a Century 21 Benefit Realty agent. I want our agents to be able to look in the mirror and say, I'd want to work with me, not because they're good at saying what you want to hear or offer the lowest commission, but because of trust. Because if you're not feeling that from your agent, that's a problem, and I don't want that. At 1.9% on the listing side of your sale with our commission capped at $19,000, Century 21 Benefit Realty leads with a very fair and transparent commission structure with maximum marketing that can get your home sold fast and for the best price. And saving money matters, but working with someone who'll tell you exactly what you need to know up front, that creates trust. And that matters too. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Have you ever gotten one of those postcards that tell you might be eligible to join a class action lawsuit? Well, you need to really read through the fine print. And joining us is Michelle Ryan, and she is our consumer expert from DATCAP. And what are you learning about these data breach class action suits?
Well, some of them are not legitimate at all. Scammers try and trick consumers into giving out their personal information by sending notifications of non-existent class actions or providing fake sign-up details about real class actions. A real class action notice will contain detailed information about the lawsuit, a description of who's affected, instructions on how to either make a claim or opt out and file an individual suit, and contact information such as the class action's official website and a phone number or email address for the law firm or case administrator. But a scammer knows this, and they create fake letters, emails, and even online ads about class actions. They fake notices, and then they may include vague or sensational language, typos, poor grammar, requests for upfront fees in exchange for joining the class action or collecting settlement payments, and fake contact information and a fake link to a scam website or a fraudulent check. So we really need to examine these closely before we engage.
A lot of these notices really do look authentic. So how do you verify if it's actually real?
Yes, that can be very difficult because a fake notice might not include contact information or an official website link or specific information about a case. So we just need to examine it. Look for those grammatical errors. Do verification to see if you can confirm that a class action notice came from a legitimate entity by finding the law firm's official website on your own and verify its authenticity with multiple sources. And if there's an official website specifically for that class action, the law firm site should either have a link or contact information that consumers can reach out to for more information. And you always need to do your own research and not just trust the document that's in front of you and the information that they are giving you in that document.
I'm just wondering, does DATCAP keep a list of current class action suits?
Unfortunately, we don't, because there are just so many out there and they can initiate in any state. But we do keep a list of data breaches that have potentially impacted Wisconsin consumers. So you can look at that to see if the data breach that the company is talking about for this class action has actually happened. And you can check that out at datcp.wi.gov.
And if by any chance you think you're being taken advantage of, give us that hotline number.
Consumer Protection Hotline is 800-422-7128.
It's 8 degrees, feels like 10 below at 8:46 on WTMJ. We'll have your forecast right after this.
4 years, it's enough time to earn a college degree, to serve a full term as a president, to raise a toddler into a kindergartner, to train for something big and become someone new.
Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest for 4 years, so you can invest in your home and use your hard-earned savings for life's biggest moments. Offering Pella exclusive features like blinds between the glass and customizations to match every home style. We believe in providing our customers with the highest quality products and top-notch service at a price you can afford. Tested, safe, durable, and backed by a limited lifetime warranty, Pella's rated #1 for craftsmanship, innovation, and exceptional design.
So aim high and think long-term when setting your New Year's resolution. And imagine what you can accomplish in 4 years when you finance your home project with Pella Windows and Doors Wisconsin. Start your journey today at PellaWI.com.
Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties are all under a winter weather advisory until 3 o'clock this afternoon because of those lake effect snow showers. They will taper off as the day goes on, but you're looking at another 2 to maybe 4 inches possible for the eastern parts of Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties. You go further inland, not quite as much. 15 will be our high today. Then, at midnight until noon tomorrow, we've got another cold weather advisory going into effect. That's for our entire area. It's going to be blustery, cold tonight, down to 2 below. That wind chill is going to feel like 10 to 25 below zero. Tomorrow, sunny, blustery, cold, high temperature only 10 degrees. That wind chill again, 10 to 25 degrees below, and that's going to be especially in the morning on your drive to work and when the kids are going to school. Then Tuesday, we warm up a bit. It's still going to be cold, though, 17 for a high. Wednesday, maybe another chance of a flurry and a high of 16, and then the sun comes back on Thursday, and we'll get all the way up to 17 degrees. Right now in Tosa, you've got some snow going on, and it's 5 degrees. Franklin, you're at 6 degrees. Port Washington has 5 degrees, and it's 8 degrees, feeling like 10 below zero in Milwaukee. Coming up next, we've got Mac Miller joining us. He's got some things to tell you about those movies that have been nominated for Oscars and some of the actors he thinks will win. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
MW Marine. The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Dinner chaos? Not tonight. Not when you got Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style pizza on the table. It's got a thick and airy crust, that crispy, caramelized edge, tons of toppings baked into perfection right in its own pan. Available in cheese. You got the pepperoni, the multi-meat. Supreme is fantastic, all delicious. Every bite brings a little peace and harmony to the table. It's Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style. Dinner drama diffused. Find it in your local grocer's freezer section.
The only place to get this.
Yeah, it's been a tough night here at Fiserv Forum. It's been a tough stretch.
With some of this.
The shorthanded Denver Nuggets down 5 of their top 7 players for a second time against the Bucks. Win. A disappointing night, to put it mildly. It feels like this may well be the night that decides your season.
Get it all on Bucks Talk, your all-encompassing Milwaukee Bucks postgame show. Only heard here on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ. WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
It's that time. The Oscars have all been nominated. We know who's going to be up for contention. So who better to ask about potential winners than Matt Miller? And Matt, it is great to have you on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's the most wonderful time of the year, minus the negative 15 weather.
Yeah, well, it's going to get a little bit warmer this coming week. But here's the thing. You've seen, I think, almost all the movies, and I want to get your input on them. Can we just start with the best actor? Because I was so excited to see Leonardo DiCaprio again, because that looks like a really good movie.
Yeah, I love Leonardo DiCaprio when he's in kind of more goofball mode. It's always disappointing to me that he won his Oscar for The Revenant, which is not even close to one of his best performances. He's nominated here, but I think best actor is really Timothée Chalamet's to lose. He's already been nominated several times before this, and Marty Supreme is his movie. He is the centerpiece of that film, and I think they're going to give it to him this year, in part also because Leo already does have that Oscar, so why not crown the next level?
All right. I don't quite get the excitement over Timothée Chalamet.
He's a very good young actor, and I will say, as somebody who monitors the health of Hollywood and the industry a lot, it's nice to see a young actor become a star that people are willing to see in theaters, a young star. You know, I mean, he's turned Marty Supreme, a 1950s ping pong character drama, into a pretty significant hit, into a $70-80 million performing movie. He's also the star of stuff like Dune and A Complete Unknown last year. He helped turn that into a moderate hit as well. So it's nice to see the next generation of stars kind of try to form, yeah.
Yeah, but I just can't get past the fact that he's dating a Kardashian. All right, let's move on to Best Actress.
Well, he's not playing somebody dating a Kardashian and
ladies.
Marty Supreme, so you don't have to. You can enjoy. You can just. But no, I get there's a non-0% chance he thanks Kylie Jenner from the Oscar stage in March, and they immediately take the Oscar back from him.
All right, let's move to actress, though, because there are some pretty interesting ladies who are nominated for that as well.
Absolutely, including the local favorite from Song Sung Blue, Kate Hudson, getting in that category. So it's nice to see Claire Sardina is an Oscar-nominated character now. I don't think Kate Hudson will win. I think the nomination is kind of the win there. I would bet that Jessie Buckley wins for Hamnet. That is the big emotional William Shakespeare Origins of Hamlet movie that also got nominated for Best Picture. I think she's going to win. She's kind of carries that movie on her back as well. She kind of carries the big emotional weight of that movie, and it's the kind of big British, it's the most Oscar-y, I would argue, of the options. So I think she's going to win there.
All right, can you tell me why they call it Hamnet and not Hamlet?
So Hamnet was the name of his son, and they say that they're interchangeable, and so Hamlet is based in part on Hamnet, his son, who you'll see the movie and what happens with him. So it's not just a play on words. It's got some purpose. My issue with Hamnet, the movie, is that, Shakespeare wrote some comedies too, and at no point in that movie do you get the idea that William Shakespeare ever told a joke in his life. It's just such a kind of dramatically one-note movie in terms of the tone it has. It's a very solemn, it's a very emotional movie. You'll probably cry during it, but it's probably not my favorite of the Oscar bunch this year.
All right, well, let's look at some of your favorites, because it used to be they'd have 5 movies. And so you had more of a focus. At least I did, because I have attention span problems. But anyway, now it's 10 movies. And it's almost like too many for me to comprehend. Matt, can you break it down for us?
There's no such thing as too many movies. I would say if you are somebody who's trying to make sure you're as much up to date on the big nominees as possible by the time mid-March rolls around, I'd say the 2 ones you really got to see are One Battle After Another and Sinners. Those are your 2 frontrunners right now. Obviously, Sinners made history Thursday morning, setting a new record for most nominations for a single movie with 16 nominations, which is incredible. Even more incredible because it's a horror movie. Oscars famously are not big fans of genre movies like comedy and horror, and now they've given a horror movie the most nominations in Oscar history.
Well, and that's 16. Is it that good? I mean, is it better than, say, Ben-Hur or Titanic or some of the other movies in history that have gotten a lot fewer nominations but still made history?
It is a very good movie. It's in my top 10, maybe even my top 5 of this past year. And the thing is, it is the kind of movie that can rake in a ton of Oscar nominations, because not only do you have really good performances in that movie, but you also have incredible kind of technical stuff with the camera work. You also have all these special effects going on in the movie and all this makeup. It's a period set movie, so you have all of this incredible costume and all these really lived in Southern worlds it's creating. It's kind of a perfect storm of a movie in terms of getting a ton of nominations. Then you add the music side, so you get a Best Song nomination, you get a Best Score. It just kind of is like this winter storm we're dealing with. It's just a perfect storm of everything a movie could get nominated for. So in part that way, it's just kind of ideal in that regard. But it is also a very tremendously well-made movie. It is very captivating. It's got a lot on its mind. I don't know if it's going to win Best Picture. I still think One Battle After Another is probably your frontrunner, the Leonardo DiCaprio revolutionary movie. But that's going to be the race coming down the stretch. And what's interesting is those 2 movies come from the same studio, Warner Brothers. So the same studio is going to be kind of competing for first and second.
All right, so One Battle After Another, what is that one about? Because like you said, that one looks pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, this is the latest from Paul Thomas Anderson, who did Boogie Nights and There Will Be Blood. This is about a bunch of revolutionaries who, Bob is Leonardo DiCaprio. His daughter gets put at risk, and as the government is coming after him and her, and they end up on the run, and he has to kind of figure out how to get to her and find his daughter. It's kind of an action movie. It's kind of a screwball comedy. It's kind of a satire. It's kind of a very serious drama. It's all of these things, and they all kind of somehow somehow work harmoniously in this movie. I had a really good time with it. I think it helps if you're kind of on the wavelength of Paul Thomas Anderson and on like the Thomas Pynchon, because this is technically adapted from his book Vineland, if you ever read that, if there's fans of that book out there. It's a very loose kind of taking pieces from that book and making it his own thing. Delroy Lindo get nominated for Sinners. He's been putting it, if you don't recognize the name, you definitely recognize the face. He's been a longtime actor for decades. Really tremendous performer, has never been nominated in the past, should have been nominated for Da 5 Bloods a few years ago. He snuck in. I think he was probably the last actor in and Best Supporting Actor, so I was really happy to see him get nominated, get the appreciation he deserves. I guess when it comes to performers, I really like the performer nominations this year. If there was a movie I would have loved to have seen get a little bit more love, Wake Up Dead Man and Josh O'Connor in that movie. That's the new Benoit Blanc murder mystery on Netflix right now. I think it's the best of the 3 Knives Out murder mysteries, and I think Josh O'Connor is a big reason for that. He's kind of the second lead in that movie after Daniel Craig, and he's so good in it, and he brings such an important kind of air to that movie. He is both light and brings in the faith elements that movie's dealing with. I think he's so good in that movie, and he had a great year across the board. He was in 3 or 4 excellent movies this year, Josh O'Connor. I would have loved to have seen him pop up somewhere in Best Supporting Actor, but apparently Netflix had other things in mind.
I always love your insight into the movies, Matt Miller. Thank you so very much for being here with us. Maybe I can get you back after the nominations are all announced who wins, and we can talk a little bit about whether or not they were well-deserved.
I would love to come back, hopefully with a little bit of warmer weather, too.
Yeah, stay under the covers today. Thanks a lot, Matt. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you. You as well.
And coming up right after the news, we are going to be joined by a Minneapolis attorney to talk about the situation going up there and the killing yesterday by an ICE agent of one of the protesters. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Kristen Bry, and if you're in the market for a new dentist, you should check out my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowoc Dental Care. Dr. Michaels is committed to providing you with the highest level of care possible. I can assure you that he will prioritize your needs, no matter how sensitive, just like he did with mine. And also, he will be honest with you about what work you need now and what can wait. So whether you need a simple cleaning and exam, a teeth whitening, a more complex dental procedure, Economowoc Dental Care is always there to make you feel as comfortable as possible and give you and your family an amazing smile. And dental care doesn't have to break the bank. Dr. Michael's fantastic staff can set you up with a no-interest payment plan. Listen, we all have to go to the dentist, so don't put it off any longer. Call and make an appointment today with my dentist, Dr. James Michaels at Economowoc Dental Care. You can find him at drmichaelsdentalcare.com or give him a call at 262-567-7224.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Ready to cruise Europe with a little sparkle? Celebrity Cruises and Fox World Travel bring you the Mediterranean with modern luxury, world-class dining, and unforgettable ports. From the French Riviera to the Greek Isles. Think chic ships, breathtaking views, and days that feel like postcards come to life. Ready to cruise Europe in style? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com and let Celebrity Cruises turn your Mediterranean dreams into a stylish, sun-soaked reality.
Dallas heads north, flying their flag.
Flag going to the top.
But Milwaukee
knows no king but the king in the north, whose name is...
Giannis, look out below! Oh, hide the women and children. Giannis goes flying to the rim.
The Bucks host Cooper Flag and the Dallas Mavericks at Fiserv Forum. Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 5:30
On the home of the Bucks, 620 WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 9 o'clock, it is 10 degrees here in Milwaukee. Today, mostly cloudy with lake-effect snow showers, slowly tapering off through the afternoon with a high of 15, and tonight a low of 2 below. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Nazir Spencer. Anger and frustration spilled in Milwaukee streets this weekend after another fatal shooting tied to federal law enforcement in Minneapolis. Alex Preddy, 37-year-old with Wisconsin ties, was killed during an ICE-related operation, reigniting outrage just weeks after the shooting of Renee Good. Protesters marched through Milwaukee demanding justice and transparency. Preddy grew up in Green Bay, graduating from Preble High School in 2006. A narrow band of lake effect snow is creating very different conditions across southeast Wisconsin. Communities around the lakeshore, including parts of Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties, could see 2 to 4 inches as the band shifts south. TMJ 4th meteorologist Michael Fish tells WTMJ,
"This is lake effect. This is how it works on our side of the lake. You move a couple of miles and it makes all the difference. Sheboygan is seeing like nothing. There are a few flakes, just few flurries or very light snow in Port Washington right now. That will end over the next few hours. Milwaukee, we have several hours to go. Picks up in Racine and Kenosha."
A winter weather advisory remains in effect with bitter colds following the snow and wind chills dropping overnight. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 9:04.
Previously, it has been gently loved. But here, you'll only find very well-conditioned premium home decor items that you likely won't find elsewhere. Distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original art, and other tasteful home decor at a value. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at 25 to 40% off retail prices in Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
Hey everybody, it's WTMJ's Debbie Loziga for Access Legal. I see firsthand how hard Wisconsin workers push themselves. From the construction crews on the roads I monitor every day to the countless jobs that strain the body over time. For many, that wear and tear turns into real pain. My friends at Access Legal understand what you're going through and they want to help. Their team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers and will fight for the benefits you're entitled to as well. Worn down by work? Contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation. That's AXIS Legal.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Green Bay Packers are hiring former Cardinals head coach Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator, replacing former DC Jeff Hafley. The Bucs have lost 2 straight and now will face the Dallas Mavericks in Milwaukee tonight at 6. You can listen to the game here on 620 WTMJ. In college basketball, Marquette lost to Butler Friday 87-76, and the Badgers take on the USC Trojans today at 3. Badgers Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more. Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. I-43 north about a mile and a half beyond ramp from Moreland Road. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash, so just be mindful of that if you're in the New Berlin area. Getting on I-43 heading north about a mile and a half beyond Moreland Road. Otherwise, it's looking pretty slick around the Milwaukee region in Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha, and a little bit of Ozaki area, so just be mindful of the roads and to slow down a little bit on the way to your destination this morning.
Sponsored by Accunet Mortgage.
Get your rock-solid pre-approval or a no-pressure refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast today. Mostly cloudy with lake effect snow showers slowly tapering off through the afternoon, up to 2 to 4 inches of snow, with the winter weather advisory until 3 p.m. for Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties. Cold weather advisory goes into effect at midnight until noon on Monday for all of southwest and east Wisconsin. Tonight, blustery and cold again with a low of 2 below with wind chills to 10 to 25 below. Monday, mostly sunny, blustery, and cold with a high of 10, with the coldest in the morning being 10 to 25 with wind chills. Tuesday, partly cloudy and still cold with a high of 17. Wednesday, partly cloudy with a chance of snow with a high of 16. And Thursday, mostly sunny with a high of 17. Right now in Madison is 3 below. In Green Bay, 3 below. In Waukesha, 4. And Milwaukee, 10 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 907.
This is Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. And now it's time for New at 9.
Intensive care nurse Alex Peretti grew up in Green Bay. He played football, baseball, he was a Boy Scout, graduated from Preble High School, and he divorced 2 years ago. And this is what his ex-wife told Associated Press. He said Alex had participated in street protests following the killing of George Floyd, and she described him as someone who might shout at law enforcement officers at a protest. Now, his father, Michael Peretti, said, "We had this discussion with him 2 weeks ago or so. Go ahead and protest, but do not engage. Do not do anything stupid." But yesterday, Alex did do something stupid. Although he had a concealed carry permit, he took a 9mm semi-automatic handgun to an ICE protest in Minneapolis. It turned out ICE officers killed him in a scuffle. Joining us is an attorney from Minneapolis. He grew up in Madison, and he practices both in Wisconsin and Minneapolis, and he's also a legal and political analyst. It is Abu Amara on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line. And I'm sure, Abu, you have mixed feelings about this. How long have you lived in Minneapolis, by the way?
Well, I've been here since college, so I've been here about 15 years.
Okay, so you know what's going on. How widespread are the demonstrations that we're seeing on TV?
Well, there's no doubt there are certain parts of Minneapolis where it is very much all over. So, for example, entire part of South Minneapolis, I'd say about 20% of the city, 15-20% of the city.
And who are the people who are demonstrating? I mean, are they people who live in Minneapolis, or are there a lot of people that seem to be from other areas of the country who are just here because they see this as sort of a boiling point for these protests?
Yeah, so I've talked to a couple folks. To me, it is 80-85% folks from the metropolitan area, the Twin Cities area. You get folks from maybe western Wisconsin. You got some folks from northern Minnesota, but the vast majority of them are folks from the Twin Cities.
How close have you been to the demonstrations? Have you been driving past or anywhere in the proximity of where it's going on?
Yeah, actually where I live near downtown Minneapolis. And so actually I was trying to go to the bank on Friday, and there was a massive protest of about 15,000 people. Couldn't even go to the bank because there were so many people. So it is these protests are huge, they're large, and I've been around that one as well as the first one around the killing of Renee Good.
Can you describe what it's like as you're approaching one of these protests?
Yeah, I will tell you, it is massive. Again, like I said, tens of thousands of people. It is very loud. You can hear it, inside of your house if you're close enough, and you can tell there's an energy of this thing is not going away. People talk. It's not a one-off. Folks are really frustrated. They're concerned, and you hear them say, "We're coming back. We're doing this again next week or next couple days." And so there's a consistency in the energy that I'm feeling with the folks who are at the protests.
You were there during the George Floyd protest. You lived in Minneapolis. Are there any similarities to what you saw back then?
You know what? Actually, it's a great question. I actually think the protests have learned from some of the mistakes of the protests of George Floyd. So those protests, many of them, not all, many of them turned either violent or there was property damage and caused a lot of hurt and harm in the city. That's actually not the case now. And I think maybe, protesters learned that it actually goes against your cause when you start burning down the city or parts of it. And so that's one thing I've noticed. You haven't seen once on TV, houses burning or buildings burning. And I think that's because a lot of the protesters learned through that first experience of George Floyd in the aftermath there.
We're talking with Minneapolis attorney Abu Amara. And Abu, I know that you have appeared on a lot of TV shows, and you do look at these situations from a political standpoint. Do you think that most of the protesters are there to peacefully protest, or do they seem to be more interested in engagement, where they want to try to stop things?
Well, I definitely think this time around, there's no doubt about it, I think the protesters are there to be peaceful. Obviously, I think there is a political angle to this because there's no way this thing gets resolved without some type of political discourse or communication between the White House and between state leaders. And so I think what people are saying on the ground is we're demanding something to happen. Now, what is that something? Ultimately, I'm not sure what that is in the short term, but I think they are saying until something is done, the only thing we have left to do is to make our voices heard in the streets.
Have you noticed in the 15 years you've lived in Minneapolis, are there a lot of immigrants? And, I mean, are they illegal? I mean, how prevalent is it in the area? We've heard about these Somali situations and the daycare centers and all that, which is a whole other situation. But is there a large immigrant community in the city?
There's no doubt there's a huge immigrant community, mostly East African. You have a smaller Latino population. But the thing about it is that the East African immigrants, because you got to get on a plane, you're not just crossing the border. So the vast majority of those folks are legal. They have some type of status. And so there's no doubt. I'd say about 40% of the city is some form of racial or immigrant minority. And so there's no doubt it is a diverse city, if you will. There's a lot of folks from all over the world. That is absolutely true about Minneapolis.
Have there been situations where people who are in the country illegally have been arrested for crimes? I mean, is this something that goes on a lot?
So this is one thing I think folks have to understand. So Minneapolis actually does coordinate with federal authorities all the time on all kinds of transnational crime. So, for example, there was a money laundering situation that happened with a Latino restaurant in South Minneapolis. The federal agencies and the state partners just a year ago executed a massive raid and ended up taking folks and ultimately deporting them. And so, yes, there are times when those things happen, and law enforcement's been involved in some pretty high-profile situations here just within the last year.
We're talking with Abu Amara. He is a legal and political analyst. He's originally from Madison, but he lives in Minneapolis now. Abu, can you stay with us just a minute? We've got to take care of some business here, and we'll have more about the protests in Minneapolis. And also, I want to ask Abu, why would somebody show up to a demonstration carrying a gun? It's all I had on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Pizza made with pride. That's what you'll get here. With a sauce recipe over 60 years in existence that we're not changing for the world. And we just can't get ourselves to skimp. So we still use only the highest quality ingredients, like our house recipe Italian sausage and our original thin crust dough that's made fresh daily and never frozen. And of course, always 100% real mozzarella cheese. You can't beat that or a Marty's Pizza.
Pizza. Do you remember when times were good? Well, they're good again. It's as good today as it was in the past. It doesn't get any better than that. Remember Marty's Pizza.
It's WTMJ's Julia Fellow for Sweet Talks Medical Spa in Menominee Falls. If you're looking for expert care without that cold clinical vibe, Sweet Talks is where beauty, wellness, and self-confidence comes together in such a fun, welcoming space. Sweet Talks offers injectables, advanced skin treatments, even wellness services like weight loss or hormone optimization. Sweet Talks provides a comprehensive consultation designed just for you. Learn more at sweettalks.com.
Get big-time savings for the whole family at Fleet Farm's first truckload super sale of the year. 50-pound bags of Sprout Poultry Crumble and Pellet Feed are $11.99. Save 20% on clear Sterlite storage totes. 12 packs of Scott Comfort Plus toilet paper are just $3.49. And save 25% on Skechers footwear for the family. Load up at Fleet Farm's Truckload Super Sale, January 22nd through the 25th. And check out all the truckload deals at fleetfarm.com.
I'm Libby Collins, and we're talking with Abu Amara. He's an attorney in Minneapolis. He also does a lot of legal and political analysis on various TV shows. Abu, the ICE federal agents have been in Minneapolis now. Is it about a month?
Yeah, it's at least 3 weeks, at least publicly. So it's been
okay. So these demonstrations have been going on about that same amount of time. Do you think that the police are adequately handling it? I mean, and do you think there's a situation now where ICE agents are feeling overwhelmed because of the number of people showing up for these demonstrations?
Well, so here's what I'd say about overwhelmed. I'd say, so the Minneapolis Police Department has about 600 police officers. That's it. Whereas ICE right now, we have about 3,000 ICE agents on the ground. And so just in terms of kind of feeling overwhelmed, I do think ICE outnumbers the Minneapolis police. So that's kind of a first point. The second is, there are tens of thousands of protesters, but that's actually not happening when ICE is executing these raids. So if ICE is going out and, trying to grab somebody who's not here, they're supposed to be here, there's not 60,000 people around. So I actually think ICE has the advantage on the ground when they're executing a lot of these warrants here.
Okay, so we saw some of the videos so far from different perspectives of what happened yesterday. The one thing I don't understand, and of course everybody has the right to peaceably protest, but what I don't understand is even if you have the legal right to carry a concealed firearm, why would you go into a situation where tempers are high? I mean, people are getting emotional. Why would you carry a gun to a protest like that?
Yeah, so that's the question, a lot of people are asking. I obviously don't have the answer to that. Here's the one thing I can say, is that during the George Floyd protests, there were protester on protester violence. And so, again, I can't read into what, his thoughts were at the time, but, there is a concern, some folks, if you've been a part of those experiences in Minneapolis, and my understanding is he was also a part of those, is that there were concerns that, if things turn violent between, protester A and protester B, that someone would want to be able to defend themselves. And, and obviously in the Midwest, we value our Second Amendment rights and those types of things. And so that's my suspicion. But again, it's a question that I think ultimately, we may never know the answer to, but it's one a lot of people are asking.
All right. So where do they go from here? I mean, you're right in the midst of it. As you said, these protests are going on not far from where you live. What's going to happen?
Yeah, it's a great question. It seems on a lot of levels, I don't know what folks on the ground can actually do. There's a lot of court cases going on that we're going to really test the law here and whether this thing's going to go on long term. My sense is if the courts don't step in, we're kind of in this no man's land of, both sides are really dug in on what they believe, and it's a sincere belief from both sides. And so, I don't know how this thing ends until, maybe we're going into the summer or other things like that change the calculus about, folks on the ground. And my fear is, and this is a sincere fear, my fear is that this escalates to the point where an ICE agent, someone is hurt, and we obviously don't want that. And so, that's my long-term concern. I don't know how it ends in the short term unless the person.
Do you think that the mayor and the governor of Minnesota are fueling it by saying, we support the fact that we don't want ICE here, we want them out of our cities?
No, and I don't. Here's why. A year ago, we had ICE agents on the ground. We're not against ICE, and that has to be understood here. We're not against ICE. What we're against is 3,000 agents. That's unnecessary to do the things that you need to do to deport the criminal folks and the violent folks. We've seen it here in Minneapolis. Again, a year ago, we had a huge transnational crime effort taking place with ICE, and you didn't see tens of thousands of protesters. And so, I think what the mayor and the governor are really saying is, look, we can work with you, especially the state. The state already works with ICE a ton, and so there's not really a disagreement about working with ICE. It's a question of, do you have to do it with 3,000 people on the ground that outnumber the police and that are really taking tactics that I think if you just watch it on TV are saying, is that really the way we want our federal government to be operating? So again, I think both sides have got to move here. This is not something that, everyone's got to be able to solve this problem. You can't just blame one person. But my sense is on the ground that a lot of folks are behind the state leadership.
Abu, I really appreciate the fact you're taking the time this morning to share your perspective of the situation with us. And again, you're right in the middle of it. And I know you're a very talented litigator with a huge law firm in Minneapolis. So I think we're going to be hearing a lot more about you. Abu Amara, thank you for joining us on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Thank you so much for having me.
Have a great day, sir. It is 9:23 on WTMJ.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. We've taken a lot of really cool trips. This one may be at the very top of the list. It is September 2026, Treasures of Egypt, the Grand Egyptian Museum, the Great Pyramids, the Towering Sphinx, and a 7-night Nile River cruise on a beautiful ship, Jordan, Petra. Our hotel actually has a private beach with access to the Dead Sea. Absolutely incredible. Colette Vacations will ensure everything is taken care of. I love Colette. Send me an email. I send you the information. Beautiful brochure, including pricing and a detailed itinerary. John at WTMJ.com. You hit me up, John at WTMJ.com. I've got the details for you. Lots of history, excursions, time to relax. We'll laugh and linger and have lots of world-class food and drink as the iconic monuments of Egypt and the ancient markets come to life. JOHN at WTMJ.com. John at WTMJ.com. John at WTMJ.com. Egypt this September.
The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome to the Sunday Sip. I'm your host, Julia Fellow. How about this morning we redefine what a senior lifestyle looks like, including if someone you love needs specialized memory care. We have with us Jennifer LeBoy and Michelle Grawl with the Waters of Pewaukee. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you, Julia.
Thank you.
Jennifer, within the Waters of Pewaukee Memory Care, I've heard about the Petals program. What is that?
Our Petals program is fabulous. It is a signature memory care program at the Waters. And what that program does, Julia, is that focuses on each resident's life story. We personalize care around their routines, their interests to create meaningful connections and a sense of purpose every day.
And Jennifer, alongside you is the Waters of Pewaukee, Michelle, who solely focuses on the Waters Petals program. So, Michelle, let's say a memory care patient loves a piano. What do you do then? Do you have a detailed bio that caregivers are filling out when they first come in?
We do, and that's a very paramount part of our whole process. So when somebody first walks in, we have the family fill out a life questionnaire, a life story. It's a very comprehensive biography, but it's so much more than just that. We ask very pointed questions about all their activities. What do they enjoy? What have they enjoyed in the past? What do they like to talk about? What may help provide calming to them when they are agitated?
What's interesting is that you have a great instance of this actually working in a real scenario.
Absolutely. We had a situation with a resident that was brought to our attention. This resident was having some issues with sundowning. That happens. That's quite common with Alzheimer's and getting some agitation and things. And we brought this to Michelle and said, what can we do? And we got together and we brainstormed, and then Michelle came up with some ideas for coaching and for training.
Like this person lived near a lake.
Correct.
Or ways to do some calming. And I love the in-person training that you have, including a dementia simulation.
Correct. So we start out doing a dementia simulation training. So every, again, team member goes through that. We know that we are very sympathetic of somebody who has dementia, but you really can't develop empathy until you are walking in that person's shoes, even somewhat. So we basically set up an apartment, put a lot of different elements in that apartment, and we try to simulate someone who has vision loss, someone who has hearing loss, maybe they have neuropathy. So there's all different modalities we use. And when the team members go through this, they say, oh my goodness, I need to change my approach. So it really does build that empathy in all of us.
I love that. So I'm thinking about the caregiver or the spouse of someone who needs memory care. What happens to them?
Right. That's very common, Julia. We have couples that reside at the Waters, and we see sometimes that one of the spouses may need a different level of care. That may mean moving to our Petals neighborhood, while the spouse may not need that level of care. And at the Waters, we can accommodate that. And what that means is they are still in the community, still under the same roof, but still able to be together.
So, Michelle, what are some signs that someone may have advanced Alzheimer's or dementia?
First and foremost, you will see that short-term memory deficit. You will see them stating the same things over and over and asking questions over and over. Also, maybe a change in their personal hygiene. They used to be very well kept. You see more stains on their clothing, or they're not changing their clothing. Also, losing and misplacing things frequently. Just the safety concerns. With that memory deficit, just do I have to worry about mom or dad leaving the stove on when they leave the home?
Michelle, all of this must be so fulfilling to make sure that families feel their loved ones safe. What do you love most about your career at the Waters?
I love a lot. I love everything, but mostly just having that ability to provide ongoing education to every team member, and then modeling successful approaches to dementia care and communication when I'm back with the residents and the other team members, and then coaching all team members just to really build up their skills so that we all have that confidence and we can see our residents bloom where they are.
And Jennifer, I want to ask the same. What do you love most about your career at the Waters?
First and foremost is meeting with families and being able to, at minimum, saying, here is what I do know, here is how I can help guide, and make sure that everybody has all the information that they need to make the best decision for their loved one.
Yeah, and you said that working at the Waters, your whole career has been with this. Is it totally different than anywhere else?
The Waters is different anywhere else I have worked, and one of the main things is this Petals program, where they have taken this dementia training to the group as a whole, committed to saying, hey, this is what we're seeing, and we need to take care of this population and be better for it. It's pretty fabulous that the Waters does this.
So, Jennifer, what's the first step families should take to connect with you?
Absolutely. Well, the first step I would suggest is to head to thewaters.com and click on the Waters of Pewaukee location. I'd be happy to give you a personal tour. You could also call the community directly and ask for myself. We could set up a time for a visit.
What are the reactions when families take a tour?
When I'm back in the Petals neighborhood and I see a family walk in, I will look at their face, and after interacting with them, I pretty much know right away that they are very happy with what they are seeing.
I would second what Michelle says, too. People that come to the Waters have done some research. They usually know what they're looking for, and again, I'm there to guide to make sure we're in the right place, and they walk in and it's, wow, this is going to be a great place for my loved one.
The Petals Signature Memory Care Program is exclusive to the Waters, designed to honor and celebrate your loved one's life story, so it's easier for them to bloom where they are in their journey. Head to thewaters.com, thewaters.com. Jennifer LeBoy and Michelle Grau, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're under a winter weather advisory until 3 o'clock this afternoon for Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties. It's 9 degrees right now, but it feels like 9 below.
Sun, 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 fun, 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 sun, sun, sun.
Boaters, this is your show, the Milwaukee Boat Show at State Fair Park. Over 300 boats, family runabouts, ski and surf boats, luxury pontoons, more Lake Michigan boats than ever. Tierra, Beneteau, Pursuit, Cruisers, Sea Ray, Boston Whaler, and more. Get that boat and get that deal. See the all-new bumper boats for kids. Second weekend only. Check MilwaukeeBoatShow.com January 16th through 25th.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vetrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
Ready to cruise Europe with a little sparkle? Celebrity Cruises and Fox World Travel bring you the Mediterranean with modern luxury, world-class dining, and unforgettable ports. From the French Riviera to the Greek Isles, think chic ships, breathtaking views, and days that feel like postcards come to life. Ready to cruise Europe in style? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO or visit foxworldtravel.com and let Celebrity Cruises turn your Mediterranean dreams into a stylish, sun-soaked reality.
A buck doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee and Waukesha. Griffin. The buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers. Mile high pressure, no excuses.
James defended by Giannis in the crouch. Inside of 10 seconds to shoot. LeBron sees the opening, drives inside, blocked at the rim by Giannis.
The Bucks head to the Mile High City to take on the Nuggets.
LaRavia driving inside, ball poked away by Giannis from behind. It's into the hands of Porter, who is fouled. Oh, Giannis does it again.
Our Bucks Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:30 on the home of the Bucks, WTMJ.
Okay, we don't hide things here. We've got a little bit of a situation at the station right now in the building with a fire alarm going off. We've been assured there is no fire. So if you hear some noise in the background as Nazir's sharing the news with us, don't worry, we're all safe and everything's good. And here he is in the WTMJ Breaking News Center. It's Nazir Spencer.
Thank you, Libby. One person is in custody and one on the run after a major drug bust in Racine. Racine police began investigating 31-year-old Jarvis Walker and 54-year-old Patsy Clemmer after a Metro Drug Unit agent purchased cocaine from their residence. Walker has been arrested shortly after the search that commenced the other day. Clemmer has not yet been arrested, and anyone with information should call the Racine County Communications Center. Snow isn't the only concern across southeast Wisconsin. Dangerous cold is settling in as well. A cold weather advisory is in effect as temperatures struggle to climb out of the teens even during the warmest part of the day. TMJ meteorologist Michael Fish tells WTMJ.
So I think Milwaukee is going to be several more hours of this. You're probably getting done by late morning, I'm thinking. And then Port Washington, you should be done within the next couple of hours. Racine, Kenosha, you're going to see this pivot down your way. Then it's going to start to pick up in intensity there.
Forecasters urge people to limit the times outdoor and dress in layers as the cold stretch continues. Taking a look at the roads through our WTMJ time saver traffic about in Brown Deer area, northbound and southbound near Fox Point, actually. I-43 south 1 mile beyond Rent from Brown Deer east and a mile beyond Good Hope Road. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. The crash spans from about Bradley Road, in between Bradley Road and West Mall Road near the Fox Point area. So just be mindful of that both those lanes, north and southbound, are clogged up due to a crash in the Brown Deer Fox Point area. Another crash or disabled vehicle on 894 East. The left shoulder is blocked due to that crash, causing a little bit of backup, and another crash on 45 South to I-94 East. The right shoulder is blocked due to a crash. Just be mindful going on the road to your destination this morning as they are slick and wet from the snow this morning.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Here's your WTMJ forecast. Today, mostly cloudy with lake effect snow showers slowly tapering off through the afternoon. 2 to up to 4 inches possible for eastern Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties. With a high of 15, and tonight, +3 and colder again with the low of below 2 and wind chills below 10 below and 25 below. Right now in Milwaukee, it is 10 degrees. I'm Nazir Spencer, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 9:36.
And we just want to assure everyone, Nazir is safe. It's just some sort of malfunction with the fire alert system in the building, but there is no fire. Everything is good, so that's just one of those things. Good job, Nazir. All right. And coming up in just a couple minutes, we're going to hear if you've got somebody who is disabled in your family. There are a lot of resources for them, and there's an expo coming up next weekend. We're going to tell you all about it and how to register for it coming up on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
Save big on everything for your next project now at Menards. We have everything you need for updating your window treatments. Refresh your home today with blinds and shades from Window Images, including vinyl, aluminum, and faux wood blinds, cellular shades, and more. And you get them trimmed to width in-store for free. View our entire selection of window treatments on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer and find all the great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
When your car or truck needs service, you should take it to a specialist. I'm Deb Cruz, president of the Auto Dealers Association of Mega Milwaukee. Adam member new car dealers have factory warranted parts, the latest diagnostic equipment, and certified manufacturer technicians. Plus, their prices are low or lower than independent shops, even on routine things like oil changes and tire service. Knowing all that, why would you ever consider going anywhere other than an Adam member dealer?
The 6th annual Hales Corners Hometown Boat Show is on now at MW Marine. Check out the newest fishing boats from Lund, Vexus, and Ranger, all powered by Mercury Outboards. Grab a gorgeous 2026 model or save big on remaining 2025 Mercury-powered boats with substantial rebates. Demand is high, so get to MW Marine today. Free parking and free admission. Don't miss the Hometown Boat Show at MW Marine, MWMarine.com.
Day after day, year after year, the heavy lifting, the repetitive motion, and now your body feels it. Your back, your knees, your quality of life.
At Access Legal, we stand up for people worn down by work.
Workers' comp is our sole focus, and our team has recovered more than $35 million for Wisconsin workers. From sudden accidents to pain that builds over years of hard work, we're dedicated to fighting for the benefits you're entitled to. If you've been worn down by work, contact Access Legal for a risk-free consultation.
Search AXIS Legal today.
Welcome back to the final half hour of Wisconsin Weekend Morning News. I'm Libby Collins. It's 9:39. The Harry and Rose Sampson Family Jewish Community Center has a number of programs that assist members of the community, and their disability inclusion program has made a tremendous impact throughout the years. Joining us on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line is Sarah McCutcheon. She's the JCC's Disability Inclusion Director. And let's start, first of all, Sarah, by talking about the Disability Inclusion Program. What do you do at the JCC?
The JCC Disability Inclusion Department offers opportunities for people of all ages through 3 levels of engagement: participation in mainstream JCC programs with support as needed, specialized skill building and social development programs, and a dedicated program designed specifically for individuals with disabilities. Our work is centered on building meaningful and social connections, fostering peer relationships, promoting community involvement, and enhancing just the overall quality of life by addressing unmet needs. We offer programs for our youth after school and on weekends and through different kinds of camp experiences, as well as offering a wide range of adult programming, including a workforce development program, an adult disability program, social evening engagement programs, creating inclusive pathways for individuals to learn, to grow, and to really belong at every stage of their life.
I know next weekend, on Sunday, February 1st, you've got an expo going on, and you're involving a number of different not-for-profits. Tell us about that.
Yes. So we, in the past, have done a resource fair at the JCC, but this year we really wanted to step it up. So in partnership with the Friendship Circle, the Ability Center, St. Francis Children's Center, and the Pink Umbrella Theater Company, we are hosting the Community Inclusion Expo at the JCC. And it is a free community-wide event designed to connect individuals with disabilities, their families, caregivers, and the broader community to inclusive programming, resources, and opportunities available throughout our area. The expo is going to have over 40 local vendors, and we're also going to be providing hands-on experiences like adaptive sports. Pink Umbrella Theater is going to be hosting a theater opportunity. The Ability Center will have open gym, so there'll be lots of hands-on experiences for everybody to participate in. This event is free and open to the community, whether or not you identify with a disability, with having one in the community. It is truly for all individuals, families, professionals, and caregivers who are interested in learning more about our programming and all of the programming within our community. It was important for the JCC to host the expo because inclusion is at the heart of our mission. We aim to break down the barriers, reduce isolation, and create spaces where people of all abilities feel welcome, valued, and empowered. By hosting the expo, the JCC not only shares our inclusive programming, but also serves as a hub for the community, helping all the families in our community discover all the different kinds of support systems and opportunities that they may not have known existed. It's just going to be a wonderful space to see everything in one area.
Do you have to pre-register, or could you just walk in next Sunday?
Everybody is more than welcome to just walk in the doors next Sunday, but we do have a registration link on our website, jccmilwaukee.org, that lists our schedule of events, everything that will be happening that day, and pre-registration. If you are inclined and want to get a space, everything will be free and open, but it will just help us with numbers.
Well, I hope we have a much warmer weekend next Sunday and you have a great turnout. Sarah McCutcheon again from the JCC Disability Inclusion Program. Thank you so much for sharing this information with us today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see a lot of faces out next week on Sunday.
It's 9:43. It's 9 degrees. Feels like 9 below. We're going to have your forecast right after this and also a look at today's conversation. It's all ahead on Wisconsin Weekend Morning News.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Start the new year right. Use your vision benefits and schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam. You can check out new frame styles and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Shopco Optical is committed to quality eye care and will create personalized vision solutions tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. New year, new you, new style. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
We see you out there coming up with original ideas, which is why you shop at Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Because you know that when a spark of inspiration hits, we'll have the brands and supplies you need at prices that'll help make it happen. Like Linzer paint applicators, 20% off for rewards members, 15% off all welding wire and rods, and get $90 in combined savings on select Milwaukee 3-piece pack-out bundles. Find the value you need to bring your ideas to life. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris talk to senior writer at The Athletic, Sam Amick. Find Here District now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Education changes everything. It opens doors, shapes futures, and builds the foundation for our children's success. At City Ford Collective, we're working to transform our city's schools and ensure every Milwaukee child receives the high-quality education they deserve. We've taken real steps forward, but our work is far from done. This giving season, we're asking you to join us. Together, we can secure a stronger future for our children and a stronger future for Milwaukee. To support our mission, visit cityforwardcollective.org/donate. That's cityforwardcollective.org/donate.
There's a winter weather advisory until 3 o'clock today for Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties because of that lake effect snow. By the time it's all over, there might be an additional 2 to 4 inches as you're close to the lake. And as you get further inland, a little bit less than that. Our high temperature today is going to get up to 15 degrees. And then tonight, a cold weather advisory goes into effect at midnight. It's going to last until noon tomorrow. That is for the entire area of southeastern Wisconsin. Tonight, our high temperature overnight will only be 2 below. It's going to feel like it's 10 to 25 below. And then tomorrow morning, very, very cold. As you're getting up to go to work or the kids are going to school, it's going to be sunny, blustery. A high temperature only of 10 degrees, but that wind chill is going to feel like 10 to 25 degrees below. On Tuesday, we warm up a bit under cloudy skies, but it's still going to be cold, 17 degrees for a high. Wednesday, partly cloudy, another chance of a snow shower or even a flurry, 16 for a high, and then the sun comes back on Thursday with a high of 17 degrees. Right now in Oconomowoc, we have 4 degrees. Cedarburg's at 6. Oak Creek has 10, and we have 9 degrees at Milwaukee, but it feels like it's 9 below. It's 9:46 on WTMJ, and right after this, we'll have a preview of what we're talking about on Conversations today. It's an interview you won't want to miss.
Ever wonder what it takes to feel truly wealthy and financially comfortable? Schwab asked Americans that question, and most said at least $2 million. But here's the thing, your number might be different. And that makes sense because your dreams, travel, retirement, and the legacy you want to leave are unique to you. That's why you need advice that's just as personal. The team at Annex Wealth Management is ready to listen and help you build a plan that fits your life. Click the Get Started button at annexwealth.com.
You may have seen the story Friday night on 2020. It was about 19-year-old Jessica Blodgett from Hartford. She was killed back in July of 2013. And I talked with Dr. Buck Blodgett, her dad, about what happened in those days around the murder. Talked to him about Jessie herself and what kind of person she was. But one of the things Buck told me was the day after the murders, all of her friends had come to the house to just sort of sit around and comfort each other and the family. But one of those individuals received a surprising phone call, and this is what he told Jessie's mom.
Joy couldn't sleep in the house, but the kids stayed in our house, and we just let them. So the first vigil was just that, a spontaneous gathering at our house. And all of her friends were sitting in a circle in our living room, a couple dozen of them, and sharing hugs and tears and memories. And Dan was in that circle.
This is the first boyfriend from her freshman year of high school.
Yeah.
So he was there with the rest of her friends.
Yeah.
And while he was there, his phone rang.
Yeah. He was there half the day with us. And he was hugging too and sharing memories too. And then his phone rang. I didn't see it. I didn't hear his phone. I wasn't there in the living room at that time. But Joy did. And Joy said he seemed like something was wrong. So she went over to him to support him. And she said, "What's the matter, Dan?" And he said, "Well, the police just called."
And you'll want to hear what happened next. You know, a lot of us recall that horrific murder of teenager Jessie Blodgett. It happened in her home in Hartford, literally in her own bed. And nobody has a more vivid memory of what happened more than a dozen years ago than her father, Dr. Buck Blodgett. And Buck is my guest today on WTMJ Conversations. You can hear details you won't hear anywhere else right here at 11 o'clock this morning on WTMJ.
Hey, John Mercure here for Mend Studios. You deserve to feel better. You deserve to feel healthy. You deserve to feel great about yourself. Mend Studios has a long-term wellness as the goal. That's how they're going to do it. That's how they're going to take care of you. I know and trust the therapists at Mend Studio. They customize every single treatment, and they've got multiple locations. They're in Mequon and Brookfield, both convenient, both easy to get to. Start at the website, mendstudio.com. I never feel better than I do after a session at Mend. Mendstudio.com.
Dinner chaos? Not tonight. Not when you got Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style pizza on the table. It's got a thick and airy crust, that crispy, caramelized edge, tons of toppings baked into perfection right in its own pan. Available in cheese. You got the pepperoni, the multi-meat. Supreme is fantastic, all delicious. Every bite brings a little peace and harmony to the table. It's Screamin' Sicilian Detroit-style. Dinner drama diffused. Find it in your local grocer's freezer section.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. The following is a paid presentation. Advice and opinions expressed during the Sunday Sip are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome into the Sunday Sip on WTMJ. Greg Matzik with you, and delighted to be joined by Nick Richmond. He is the co-founder and CEO of Matrix Basement Finishing. They are doing an incredible job on our basement. We intentionally left it blank with the idea of finishing it in time. As our kids became a little older, we wanted to turn that into a dedicated space, family memories for the holidays and hosting. We love to have people over, and Matrix is making that vision come to life. And we're watching the process play out before our very eyes. It couldn't be more excited about the process.
Well, we appreciate your business, and thank you for putting your trust in us. It's our pleasure and an honor to work for you and your family and make those visions come to reality. That's what we do, and we pride ourselves on doing something for our customers that's truly going to change their lifestyle and create a meaningful difference in their life.
You know, we did quite a bit of research, Nick. We didn't just jump into this process, and all of our arrows pointed back to Matrix. All of the reviews, the design gallery, the videos that we saw on Instagram, everything seemed to indicate that you were the best option for us. So what is it about Matrix that makes it the best decision for so many who are looking to do their lower level?
Well, we've been around for almost 18 years, and from the outset, it was always my vision to build a business around basement finishing. There are a lot of contractors out there, a lot of jacks of all trades, and we wanted to be different. We wanted to focus on basement finishing because we saw a void in that area of home remodeling and home improvement. The level by which we've evolved is quite astonishing. And a lot of that has been with all of the customers that we've serviced, learning from them. We're very collaborative with our customers when it comes to how we design and staying up with the latest trends. And, I truly believe we've accomplished what we set out to do, which is to become the greatest basement finishing company ever. We also have a really, really amazing team and a culture where everyone is laser focused on what's most important, and that's making our customers extremely happy.
Really is a turnkey process. And one of the things I mentioned in my commercials is that my wife and I have not had to leave our home yet, right? We had design consultation at our kitchen table. We made selections on the finishing materials at our kitchen table. And I think we went to pick out some tile at a tile shop, and that's about the only thing we've had to do outside of our home.
Like you said, we've bottled it into a one-stop shop opportunity for customers to have a painless and smooth process, because it is a big investment, as you know, and it's a big project, and there's a lot of considerations. So our goal is to make it as seamless and as painless for the customer as possible. And, it starts with a design consultation and having a highly trained professional that can go out to the home and adequately design the space, all the way through material selections and providing you with the palette to choose from. And then, of course, project management and communication and execution. We control that whole process.
One of the other things I found very interesting, Nick, is the quality of materials being used. Obviously, there was some severe and significant flooding in Wisconsin in the month of August. We got through that okay. We felt very confident moving forward with the basement remodeling plan. But I also learned about the products that you use in the basement to try and limit the organic material in that lower level with materials that won't warp, that won't really be affected by water or are resistant to water. Bugs aren't going to eat at it, right? I mean, it seems like a little thing, but boy, little things can become big things when you put it up against Mother Nature.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. It's a below-grade space. Your basement is susceptible to a high level of moisture and humidity. And so one of the main highlights is our Forever Wall assembly, using metal framing instead of wood studs, using spray foam insulation. And we have our own spray foam rigs and our own operators that do that work. And what that does is it encapsulates that foundation in a way where you're not going to have that vapor and moisture coming through behind the substrate, causing that musty, moldy smell. I'm glad you bring that up because it truly is one of the main differentiators of our company.
What else makes Matrix different in your mind, Nick? You've been around this business for so many years. Matrix has been in business for 18 years. You've seen it done the right way. You've seen it done the wrong way, I'm sure, in your experience. What separates Matrix from others?
We provide free design consultations for homeowners that are interested in finishing their basements. We'll spend as much time as we need to with someone to draw that basement out to scale, to take them through the planning of the space, to take them through the material selections, to give them a detailed and accurate proposal that is guaranteed. And we do all that at no cost. And so I think just by going out and doing that work for people, that alone makes us different. We don't charge for that. We use Builder Trend, which is a program that allows the customer to communicate with our production team. It allows them to see photos of the progress of their work. You could be on a vacation and you will know who's coming, who's going, when they're showing up. 60% or more of our customers take advantage of our amazing financing options. So we've even gone as far as partnering with multiple lenders to make it so that just about anyone can afford to do business with Matrix.
Living up to all those 5-star reviews. If you want to learn more, check out matrixbasements.com. In fact, I've got a personal landing page set up right now, matrixbasements.com/Matzik for special pricing for you. Nick, I really appreciate your time, and congratulations on building such a wonderful business, and thank you in advance for everything that you've done for our family. We're looking forward to making memories and hosting for years to come in our home.
Well, we appreciate you, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it, and we're so happy to have you as a customer and as an endorsement. And, of course, if you ever need anything, we're going to be there for you for years to come. We're only getting started.
Check out matrixbasements.com. Great stuff. Nick Richmond, founder and CEO of Matrix Basement Finishing. Nick, I appreciate your time. We'll check in again soon.
Thank you, Greg. Take care.
It's 9:57. There is a winter weather advisory in effect until 3 o'clock, especially for the eastern areas of Milwaukee, Racine, and Kenosha counties. That's because of that lake effect snow. If you're further out west, maybe up north, you probably say, what are you talking about? But the areas we're talking about are getting about another 2 to 4 inches of snow. Our high today is only going to be 15, and then tonight for everybody in southeastern Wisconsin, that cold weather advisory goes into effect until noon tomorrow. You are going to be waking up tomorrow to very cold temperatures. Our high tomorrow is only going to be 10 degrees. It's going to feel like it's 10 to 25 below. Right now, Milwaukee has 10 degrees, feels like it's about 8 below zero. Stick around after the news with Nazir. Adam Roberts is here with Reporter's Notebook, and I return at 11 o'clock with my conversation with the father of Jessie Blodgett, the young lady who was killed in Hartford about a dozen years ago. You won't want to miss it. It's all ahead on WTMJ.
Is it time to buy an engagement ring?
Or a big anniversary diamond?